Forget who's faster, a speeding bullet or Hollywood reboots. Superman's back with a whole new face and the new guy is David Cornsweet. Get the lowdown on everything we know so far about this new Superman film from director James Gunn. So, what is the new buzz about James Gunn's new Superman movie? Apparently there's a scene with a news report showing Superman hurt by a special bullet. This is a big deal for comic book fans because it's a nod to a famous Superman weakness and a villain from another movie. Want to know what's the twist about? Well, fans aren't sure if this Superman is the new guy, played by David Cornsweet, or the old Superman, played by Henry Cavill. It's like a mystery the movie is setting up. The new Suicide Squad movie on HBO Max is introducing a bunch of cool bad guys. Each one has a special power and a messed up past that kind of goes with it. Like Bloodsport, who's in jail for shooting Superman with a super-powered bullet. Superman survived, but barely. It's weird though because it's not clear who Superman even shot in the first place. The movie doesn't tell us everything, but the director James Gunn keeps dropping hints. It makes you wonder if the actors like Henry Cavill who plays Superman are the same as the characters in the comics. There are some similarities for sure, but also some differences. It's all a bit of a mystery. Comic fans out there, do you remember Bloodsport? Yeah, the guy with a grudge against Superman. Those old 80s comics showed them fighting all the time. Bloodsport even hit Superman with some poison needles a couple of times. Crazy, right? So is that Henry Cavill's Superman in the new Suicide Squad movie? Nobody knows for sure. The director, James Gunn, says it could be Cavill or someone else entirely. He doesn't want to spoil anything, you know? But based on the DC movies so far, it's probably Clark Kent's Superman. So is Henry Cavill coming back as Superman? It's not clear yet. But even though it's up in the air, he's still Superman in that one Justice League movie by Zack Snyder. You know, the longer one. There's also the shorter version, but that doesn't really count. In that one, Superman comes back to life at the end and is ready to save the world again. You can watch both versions on HBO Max. So let's now talk about how the journey of Superman started. Superman is probably the first superhero you think of, right? He's kind of the star of DC Comics, even though Batman fans might argue. Everyone knows his story, even people who aren't super into comics. A big reason for that is all the Superman movies. The very first one was Superman in 1978, directed by Richard Donner. It might seem a little cheesy now, but it was really fun, and Christopher Reeve, the actor who played Superman, was awesome. That movie was such a hit. They even made 3 more Superman movies and a Supergirl movie in the same style. Did you know that the Superman movie from 2006 ignored some of the older sequels and tried to connect back to the very first Superman films? It wasn't a bad movie, but it didn't do as well as everyone hoped, and it wasn't quite as amazing as the originals. The 2013 Superman movie is the most argued about one yet. Some people love how they showed Superman in a more realistic way and thought the action scenes were awesome. Others hated the dark tone and all the destruction, saying it wasn't what Superman was about. Unfortunately, the newer Superman movies haven't been huge hits either. After the movie Man of Steel 2 got stuck in development for ages, and the idea of a new Superman with Michael B. Jordan never happened, there wasn't a clear plan for Superman movies. But now the new people in charge at DC Comics are making a connected series of DC movies, and Superman is obviously going to be part of that. Do you know that this new Superman movie will be the first one in this new series, kind of like a fresh start, and it's the beginning of something called Gods and Monsters? They're just getting started on making the movie now, so let's see what Superman will be up to this time. Here's what we know so far about Superman 2025. This new Superman movie comes out in July 2025. This Superman is figuring out who he is, alien or human, all while fighting for what's right. It's a world where being nice seems kind of lame, but Superman isn't giving up on truth, justice, and the American way. It's written and directed by James Gunn and stars a whole bunch of cool actors, including David Cornsweet as Superman. Yeah, that's what is mentioned in a report published on Collider about David Cornsweet being Superman of this new movie. So want to know what's the actual date when you can catch the film Superman 2025 in theaters? Well, the brand new Superman movie will be coming out next summer on July 11th, 2025. That's just after the 4th of July weekend, which is fitting since Superman is all about truth, justice, and the American way, even though he's actually an alien from another planet created by Canadians. There were some worries the movie might get delayed, but James Gunn says it's still on track. Filming starts this March in Atlanta, so we should hear more details soon. As of now, there is no word on streaming yet, but it'll probably be on HBO Max after it's done playing in theaters, just like other recent DC movies. Don't worry about a trailer for the new Superman movie yet, because they will soon start filming. We'll have to wait a bit to see any real footage of the Man of Steel, but stay tuned. We don't know all the details yet, but it won't be like the other Superman movies where he's just starting out. Superman will already be a superhero, and this movie will focus on him and his girlfriend Lois Lane. There will be other heroes too, but it's not a team-up movie. Lois Lane's photographer Jimmy Olsen will also be in the movie. The bad guy is a new character named the Engineer. The movie might give us clues about other upcoming superhero movies. In a nutshell, Superman will be trying to balance his alien past with his life on Earth. Didn't we already tell you that James Gunn is writing and directing the new Superman movie? He's already directed a DC movie before. Remember the Suicide Squad? That one was awesome and way better than the first one. This Superman movie is a big deal, so Gunn wanted to make sure he really loved the story before directing. Luckily, he loves the script and can't wait to get started. Gunn's no stranger to superhero movies. He also made all the Guardians of the Galaxy films. They're those space adventures with the funny talking raccoon, right? Oh, and Gunn also just revealed a sneak peek of Superman's new suit on his Instagram handle. It looks super cool. On March 1st, 2024, James Gunn wrote on his Instagram, overjoyed to be announcing the start of principal photography on Superman today, February 29th, which just so happens to be coincidentally an unplanned Superman's birthday. When I finished the first draft of the script, I called the film Superman Legacy. By the time I locked the final draft, it was clear the title was Superman. Making our way to you, July 2025. Do you think the logo looks kind of like what Superman wears in a famous DC comic called Kingdom Come? It's like a super cool story, one of the best. So in the first picture, you can see Superman's classic red and yellow S logo on his costume, along with the blue of the rest of his outfit. These colors are more like the bright primary colors you usually see in Superman comics, not like some of the different looks they've tried in movies and TV shows. The design is based on artwork by Alex Ross, who's famous for his realistic drawings of superheroes, especially Superman's S logo from the comic series Kingdom Come, written by Mark Waid. James Gunn, the director, mentioned that Ross art is a big inspiration for Superman's appearance in the movie, which sounds pretty cool. Even the Wikipedia page mentions how the makers started filming the new Superman movie on February 29th, which is Superman's birthday, by the way. Cool, right? They filmed some scenes in a beautiful valley in Norway that looks like Superman's icy hangout, the Fortress of Solitude. Gunn picked this spot because it looked awesome and remote. Do you know that the filming is happening under a secret name for now, but they're using giant IMAX cameras for the whole movie? It got pushed back a bit because of the SAG-AFTRA strike, but they're shooting for about 4 months total. Just recently, they cast someone to play Perry White, the newspaper editor guy. They're also filming in a big studio in Atlanta for a few months, and then they'll be in Ohio and another part of Georgia for a while too. Lots of places to bring Superman to life, isn't it? Don't you think that Superman's movie is going to be huge? Certainly, because there's a lot of pressure on it. It's not just about doing well, it needs to save DC's movie reputation right from the start. If you liked watching our informative video, click on like and subscribe to our channel for more.